Eternal Fire are unstoppable. They just beat the best team in the world, FaZe, 13-1. But how? FaZe lost the pistol, but managed to get the plant, so going into this round they will be able to buy and almost have a better buy than the CT side. Early on, Eternal Fire starts in the default tree towards middle, where they try to nade to ramp to do some damage. But Centaurus misses the jump. Since there are a set jump you need to make for it to have impact. As well as one will hold con, and this is done to make sure the mid player who now will walk into toilet can't be pushed from con, and the last player towards middle is on long. And here he will just hold it down, to make sure Eternal Fire have all the information needed from long. Eternal Fire are sending 2 players towards B, just to hold and using the Molotov on short to make sure FaZe can't push it. Key weakness in this setup is the B hold, but there's a small chance that the T side will on the second round by rush it. So Eternal Fire are playing around that. FaZe are going 1 player in monster to lurk and hold and trying to find a kill or some info, 1 in con to slowly take it, and then 3 towards ramp to win control of it. FaZe are quickly able to get all 5 players towards mid. And here we see an all-out brawl for mid control. And Rain on the range are able to beat Centaurus M4 in middle, but Voxic on long has been able to push up and can find a trade rather fast. Voxic Molotovs behind himself so he can walk back. And Rain almost dies to the Molotov before it's smoked away, and this allows Voxic to turn and try to find one more kill before he will be taken out, since he's on low HP and have nowhere to hide. Sadly Voxic can't get any more kills and FaZe has the advantage. But here's the issue, FaZe are peeking quite one by one. Just look at Rain, he has 2 players behind him, but here when he is peeking con he is alone, and Mayor can get 1 free kill and fall back and take away FaZe man advantage. FaZe decide, since they do not have con control, that they will try to win A site, and here is a real show of just how bad spacing and coordination from the best team in the world is. FaZe has 1 player in toilet, 1 banana and 1 long. All they need to do is to peek together. But here rather Brokey overpeaks into the AUG to allow the player long to push up and get the trade. But here it would have been better for him to just jiggle and force the site player to keep his attention on Brokey, and Robs would still have been able to get this kill. After this, Rob solo peeks out while Frozen is still in toilet, and Eternal Fire wins both 1v1 fights FaZe gave them to take the second round.
An advantage in these duels against the rifles, and here comes the first interaction. Not the cleanest shot, but he does find the initial headshot. It's going to be Robs answering back with Cardia though. Tucked in the corner, the MP9 seals the deal.
FaZe are full buying this round with 4 AKs, 1 Galil, while Eternal Fire, who so far have won 6 rounds in a row, have a full buy and built a massive bank, something that will take FaZe ages to even break. Eternal Fire starts with 3 players towards B, using a monster smoke, short Molotov, and set up quite normally, with 1 monster player using this flash to just make sure FaZe can't peek, and then the 2 other B players will be boosting over here. And something to note here, they will go up on the boost from this side. To make sure if FaZe have a player holding for the jump up, he can't see them do this. A nice little thing you will only learn from demos. Then they have 2 players in middle using this Molotov early into playground, but not towards ramp, but why? Well, this will hopefully force FaZe not to go into playground, and then the toilet player will have much more control about how FaZe are playing middle. Since then FaZe has to cross over towards him before going long. It's a nice way to get control of a part of a map without peeking it. FaZe sends 1 player in monster to lurk, where he will Molotov short to make sure Eternal Fire can't use their Molotov to win short control. Then they will have 1 in con and 3 towards middle, who will use some flashes to take it, just to flash a player if Eternal Fire has 1 peeking early. FaZe uses a lot of utility like this smoke on toilet opening and this Molotov towards the wider, and this is done to force Eternal Fire on A into a more passive position, a position Eternal Fire is not as strong in. And here we can see Voxic will fall back, but only to banana and hold the con entrance, since when the wider is Molotov, he can't be pushed from it. So as soon as the Molotov fades out, he will then fall back, since now he do not have that safety net anymore. But Eternal Fire wants to be aggressive on the CT side. And here, Vicadia is taking water control.
Vicadia pushed offshore, so much information garnered.
So for FaZe, this is impossible to predict. They force Eternal Fire to be passive on A, just for Eternal Fire to meet this with aggression towards B. A cool spot we can see Eternal Fire using is this jump spot on the ledge, where by jump spotting here, Mayor can see all the way into toilet and the opening. It's a good way to get a lot of info with low risk. Frozen tries to clear it, but gives away his position with a nade, and Eternal Fire finds the first kill of the round. And this is the issue for FaZe, they have no toilet control anymore. And this will lead to A being much harder to take, since you need to keep an eye on toilet and flanks constantly. And this is why the bomb rotates over to B, since this push from Eternal Fire to short, well, that will usually tell you that Eternal Fire has rotated one player over to A, since they have so much control on B. Kerrigan overpeaks and FaZe loses one more kill to an untradeable player. Not ideal to go down 3v5 in a 0-6 scoreline. FaZe finds Vicadia overpeaking Con, not the best play he could have done as well, but he wanted some info in Con and he got it. This forces Eternal Fire only B player left to play way more passive. And here is the issue, FaZe has only one smoke left, so going passive is perfect. FaZe has to check everything, and that's when a passive player can shine. And to be fair, he will only need to get one kill before dying to keep the man advantage for his team. Eternal Fire is fast to rotate, since it's 30 seconds left and Sataris has full toilet control. And here Eternal Fire smokes Monster and sends one player to heaven. FaZe finds the one player still on site, but what Eternal Fire does next is amazing. Here Sataris runs down into Con and can find a trade. But what do you do when site is smoked like this from FaZe? How do you deal with this? Well, Sataris has this nade, a great lineup, and here he uses the nade to expose the planter of FaZe in the smoke, and when you have two players in heaven, they can just whack-a-mole the FaZe player, and Sataris can deal with the player going around, and EF takes another round with ease.
They had one flashbang and they've already used it. Now they're going to smoke up to try and see if they can at least plant the bomb. Jumping into it here.
Here we go.
Robs finds a headshot. Okay, the round might be back on. But Sataris has shown up with the flank now, ready to try and reclaim the bomb site. Only Robs remains.
What have you got, Robs? No grenades. 100 HP short. Not the ideal weapon for the job. It doesn't even get activated.
This has been brutal for FaZe, and maybe now I add in that FaZe has only won Overpass once this year, versus Eternal Fire. That match got to overtime before FaZe barely won it, so we can see Eternal Fire has studied up to make sure FaZe would not win again. Eternal Fire has two players towards middle, using this setup of a Molotov playground and then a smoke towards ramp. And this play can allow Eternal Fire to be way more aggressive towards ramp and middle when FaZe can't push them. And then Eternal Fire has three players on B rather default with a Molotov in short, tunnel, and a smoke monster. FaZe meets all of this with three players in middle smoking the playground Molotov and then pushing behind the smoke with some utility. And then they have one in Con and one in monster. Very default heavy round from FaZe. Again, what happened now is insane. Early on, Eternal Fire can hear Rob smoking the short Molotov, since he wants to deal with short control. And then he has Molotov the short entrance. So how can Eternal Fire deal with this? Well, they will use this flash and trade spots with FaZe. And here Vicadia goes through the smoke on the flash timing and can get monster control. Something to note here is that Vicadia Molotovs behind himself in monster to make Robs think that EF just Molotov the monster smoke instead. And Vicadia uses this not to kill Robs, no, he is thinking big picture. At the moment, FaZe has no idea about him, since for all Robs know, this flash could have just been used for a player to peek monster and not push. So here Vicadia wants to get behind FaZe, since FaZe default is to have 3 in mid, and here he can sneak his way behind them.
Seen many games in the past. Again, Vicadia back to his old tricks. This is sickening. How is he allowed to get away with this?
I'm gonna get backstabbed at the start of the round. I can't believe he's gonna find the bomb and everything. Holy shit, Anders, this is insane. Oh, he hasn't made it clean, but he does find the bomb.
And just like that, there's no more to say. Some trades, but this amazing push by Vicadia wins EF the round in the end, by him coming behind, getting 1 kill and a dink, but all the info he's getting made it all work out, and EF are almost perfect on the CT side.
It would take one of the clutches of the tournament with 8 seconds remaining. Oh my god, pack it up.
In such a crucial game, we are seeing round 14 as the match point, where EF are up 12-1, insane to see. The loser will be 1 loss away from being eliminated from the major, and FaZe has to wake up, or is it too late? FaZe are on the CT side, and have a crazy force by going with 3 SMGs and 2 pistols. Here FaZe are set up with 4 players on B using a monster smoke, and then just playing for the hold if Eternal Fire will execute. And then FaZe has 1 player on A using this smoke to smoke off ramp. A nice lineup, but I feel it's only there to force EF to play a bit slower until the smoke is gone. Eternal Fire are going for the same default as FaZe, with 1 player in monster, using this Molotov towards short, 1 inside con and 3 towards ramp. Like, what was FaZe thinking? Using an early smoke to slow down Eternal Fire when Eternal Fire's main playstyle is W keying, but FaZe wants to test something. Here after the A player is done with the smoke, he walks back to join his team on B. And here FaZe will be ready for a monster take with 5 players. They want to find his lurker and win the advantage from there. Only problem is this, they can't just peek the monster player, since they smoked it off. As well as they will then sit and wait for Eternal Fire to start and execute. And this is the issue. Eternal Fire monster player is falling back. FaZe are just wasting their time and map control by doing this. FaZe realizes it will not be B. And here 2 players will rotate up, but they split up. with one toilet who has MP9 and then one backside with a deagle. I myself is not a massive fan of this setup with a lower buy, usually better to do this with an open M4. Eternal Fire are getting a lot of map control and we start to take long in toilet. But they do this in quite a clever way by slowing down the push in toilet and long to allow Calyx to try to sell one last fake, and here Calyx walks out and finds one kill. Frozen has to do something, and here he is dealt with, and Brokey finds one kill but FaZe are down in a 2v4. Voxic finds a lurker and quickly Kerrigan is dealt with, and Eternal Fire has done it, almost a perfect game by them.
Bit of a flank here, 2 versus 4, a bomb planted, the job is almost done. You're right, they can hear this in Istanbul, they can hear it in Ankara as well. Rops and Kerrigan left to try and hold on to this. Eternal Fire have absolutely wrecked FaZe. There's nothing left to do here. The Turkish incinerator that is Eternal Fire.
Well, Eternal Fire ended up actually making it to the playoff, while FaZe against Complexity made it to the major as well. But for FaZe, they gotta work on overpass. For this year, they played it 5 times, only winning it once, giving them a 20% win rate on the map. Thanks for watching. I have 2 videos YouTube told me you would like. Bye.